Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're unpacking something that touches a lot of us, mobile loan applications.
Fintech.
Exactly. We've got some sources here about one specific app, Pautang Peso. You'll find it on the Google Play Store. And these sources, well, they show two sides, really. Convenience, sure, but also some pretty significant challenges. We should explore those.
Absolutely. And that's really our mission here. What's fascinating, is this dual nature. On one side, you've got this promise easy access, especially for people maybe left out by traditional banks. But then flip side, there are these hidden complexities, risks maybe you don't see at first glance. So our goal in this deep dive, pull out the core info on Pautang Peso. We want you to be really well informed about this corner of the financial world. It's changing fast.
Okay, let's dig in. So how does Pautang Peso actually present itself? The sources label it a fintech credit service, which, if you follow this area, you know that means using tech to streamline finance.
Right, make it faster, maybe more accessible. In this case, focusing on credit, on loans.
Yeah, and it lists features to help users, like it has a loan calculator.
Yeah.
This tool, it lets you sort of play around with numbers, simulate different loan types, consumer loans, mortgages, even car loans.
Like a planning tool up front.
Supposedly, yeah, to give you a clear picture before you jump in. And then there are the versatile loan options.
Meaning?
Well, they talk about a whole range. Short-term stuff, like payday advances if you're in a tight spot, but also bigger amounts, things like home renovations, or maybe a vacation. It covers a pretty broad spectrum.
Okay, so flexibility is a selling point.
Seems like it. But what really jumped out at me, from the sources anyway, is the accessibility angle. It's got a simple interface, user-friendly, all that.
Standard stuff for an app.
Right. But here's a kicker. It claims it caters to people with low credit scores, or even no credit score.
Ah, that's often a big hook for these kinds of apps.
Exactly. It positions itself as maybe a solution for people who get turned down by regular banks. It's trying to fill that gap.
That is intriguing. And potentially very helpful for some.
And one more thing on features, it mentions a financial management tool. Gives you a detailed monthly breakdown of your loan payments.
To help you keep track, presumably.
Yeah, it sounds useful on the surface.
Okay, so those features, especially the no credit score part, they sound appealing, almost too appealing. It makes me wonder, though, how are they managing the risk? If you're not using traditional credit checks, what are you using?
That's a great question.
Do the sources get into that other side? The important considerations, potential problems?
They absolutely do. It's not all just features. The sources shift focus pretty significantly here. For instance, Pautang Peso and actually a bunch of other online lending apps, too, they've been investigated before.
Oh, by who?
By the National Privacy Commission, the NPC in the Philippines. This was over alleged data privacy violations.
Data privacy. Okay, that's serious, especially with financial apps.
Definitely.
And, this NPC investigation, it points to a wider issue in fintech sometimes. Things move so fast that the rules, the consumer protection, it kind of lags behind. User data can be left, vulnerable.
Right.
And the sources mentioned something else worrying the NPC, didn't they? About who actually runs these apps.
They did. A big concern the NPC flagged was that for some of these apps, there's no known company name, no business address.
Wow.
Sometimes the only identifier for the developer is just their URL.
So good luck figuring out who's behind it if something goes wrong. That sounds like a major red flag for accountability.
It really does. It raises huge questions about oversight. Who's watching them?
It's like operating in the shadows almost.
Yeah.
Promising quick money, but offering very little recourse if things go sideways.
Yeah. So given these big concerns, privacy violations, lack of clear ownership, did the sources mention specific user experiences? Like what actually happened to people?
That's where it gets really concrete usually.
It does. The sources talk about user complaints. People alleging they were misled, basically. And there's a very specific example. One user complained they borrowed X amount, expecting a 3-month repayment period.
Okay, sounds standard.
But they apparently only received part of that amount, not the full loan.
What? Seriously?
And then they were told they had to repay the full original amount, not just what they received, within just 7 days.
7 days, not 3 months.
7 days. And if he missed that deadline, huge interest penalties tacked on.
Oh, that sounds predatory. That's a classic bait and switch.
It sounds awful. You can just imagine needing funds, thinking you found help, and then getting caught in that kind of trap.
Yeah, it turns a quick fix into potentially a much deeper debt problem, exploiting vulnerability with really deceptive terms. It shows you have to look past the easy interface.
Absolutely. And just one final point from the app description itself, it does mention having in-app ads.
Right, so that's part of their business model too. Not unusual, but good to know.
So let's try and wrap this up. If we summarize our deep dive on Pautang Peso for you, the listener. On one hand, yeah, it looks like an accessible fintech option. It offers different loans, tools to manage payments.
The shiny surface.
Right. But then the other hand, pretty serious reported concerns, data privacy issues flagged by regulators, difficulty even figuring out who owns or runs it, which impacts accountability.
A big one.
And these user complaints suggesting a disconnect between what's promised and, well, what people actually experience, sometimes with really harsh terms.
And if we pull back, look at the bigger picture here, it really highlights how important it is to, scrutinize these mobile financial services, especially the ones operating where maybe the regulations haven't quite caught up yet.
Yeah.
It brings up this really critical question, doesn't it, about balancing innovation, which can be good, giving quick access to funds, with actually protecting consumers in this digital world.
That really is the core tension. Which leads us to our final thought, something for you to chew on. Given everything we've discussed, the potential plus side of quick cash access, but also these documented risks like privacy worries and, frankly, misleading loan terms, what aspects would you prioritize if you were considering using a mobile lending app? What would be most important to you? And maybe even more crucial, what steps would you personally take to protect yourself before hitting apply?